David Baye here from MuscularDevelopment.com. We are in Canada for the 2014 Toronto SuperShow. I am here with 212 competitor Guy Cisternino. Guy, first off, congratulations. Just earlier on this week, signed a contract with Muscular Development. Talk to us a little bit about that.
Yeah, it was in the works before New York, and then it just contracts take a little time to happen, so we were able to get it done and signed, and I signed it, I believe, on Tuesday. And I was anxious. I wanted to tell everybody about it, but certain things have to be in order and process before you can go announcing things. So Steve called me last night and said it was going to be put on the banner and announced last night. And wait till today.
I didn't even get a heads up. Nothing. No early warning or anything.
So I can keep a secret. That's all you know. So I'm so excited, man. I mean, I've been since I was an amateur back in I started competing in 2003, but 2007. It was when I first started going on MD website. They had this thing called Amazing Amateurs, which they did a whole little series on me, and I've been on there ever since. I mean, there was that one year that I was contracted with another company that I couldn't be active on MD, and now that I'm back, I mean it's MD is like always been a home to me. I know all the guys. A lot of the guys that are sponsored by MD are very close personal friends of mine. They're like family, and it's just great to be a part of such of a the best bodybuilding magazine in the world, man. And I can't thank Steve enough for giving me the opportunity to be a part of the team. So.
Well, I know the guys on the board's been calling for it for a while. I'm sure you could probably go back and count all the threads that say MD needs to sign Guy Cisternino. Finally happened. Now, a few weeks ago, when we talked to you in Dallas, I don't really remember that Toronto was on your radar for shows coming up. What made you decide to jump into this show?
Man, I mean, people say, well, why do you want to do the show? You're qualified for Olympia. Thing people don't understand is that we're bodybuilders. I mean, yeah, I have a full-time job too, and I work for BSN, and I do have other obligations. But one of the obligations I do have as an athlete for BSN, and now an athlete for MD, is to promote MD and my sponsors and to compete. And as a bodybuilder, if we all just did one show a year, then what would all the other shows be? I won Dallas, and I did New York because it was in my backyard, and I mean the crowd was there. The crowd had a different view of the outcome, which made me feel very good. But Aaron looked great, and he qualified for the Olympia. But I wanted to go into the Olympia with momentum. I don't know who's going to show up here. I never say I'm going to win a show. I just say I'm going to be at my best, and I'm going to be better than I was in Dallas, and I'm going to be better than I was in New York. So somebody's going to have to be really crazy to beat me come tomorrow. But I just wanted to go into Olympia with a win. And that was something after Dallas I wanted to do, and so many people told me, why don't you just pull out of New York? I'm not pulling out of New York. It's my hometown show. I would never do that. And as an athlete, once you put pen to paper, you can't really back out of an agreement. So I did New York, and I took second. And even after the show, everybody was calling me, "You going to do Toronto?" I'm like, "No, I'm done. I'm done." I was like, "I'm done. Leave me alone. I'm done. I'm going to eat." And I ate Saturday night. I ate Sunday. I thought about it. I talked to a couple people, and they were like, "You know what? Jump in Toronto and get Toronto done." So I'm here. I'm gonna do Toronto and see what happens. And then regardless of what happens tomorrow, I'm gonna shut it down and have like a short 4-week off season, and then back to the grind for the 2014 Mr. Olympia.
Yeah, it's an interesting time. I mean, if we look between now and September, we have it's less 16. Yeah, I was going to say it's right around 4 months. Yeah. So there's not really time to go into a full off season. So you kind of jumped the gun on my question as far as what you were going to do for an off season. As far as like your weight, I mean, we all know, or anybody that's competed knows, that after a show you start eating, the weight can come on real fast. Yeah. Is it something where you're going to stick 10, 15, 20 pounds, or I mean, are you going to try to stay pretty close to your contest weight? I
weighed in today 208. If I get to 225, it's probably where I'll max out at. Okay. I've been as heavy as 242. I was a very uncomfortable 242. That was like Jose uncomfortable. But no, I'll probably get 225. I mean, this was prep, and people don't like to hear, but was one of my easiest preps as far as not doing a lot of cardio, not killing myself with diet, eating a little more food. So and that was all because I was in better shape in my off season.
Yeah, well, the term easiest prep also comes along with the fact that you had more discipline in the off season. Yeah. If you eat like a slob, sometimes. In the off season, your prep's going to be more difficult. So it's all kind of relative. You might have worked harder in the off season, better discipline than somebody else did, and therefore your prep was easier. So it all kind of comes out in the wash.
Yeah, I mean, I'll probably have for 4 weeks. You know, I'll eat. You know, if I want some shit, I'll eat it. But other than that, you know, I pretty much eat clean all year round. I don't have a really bad sweet tooth. I have a sweet tooth right after a show, but after about a couple days, it's gone. So I'll probably just, you know, eat up a little bit for a couple days, enjoy myself, and I'll still be in the gym doing some cardio, just try to keep that water weight off and not rebound too bad. But then, you know, after 4 weeks, it's back to the grind, man. You know, this is what we do. You know, this is what we live for. So, you know, it's a 24-hour day, 7-day week, 365 days a year job, man. You know, people want to bitch and moan about, oh, I got to die, I got to do this, man. To me, this is living a dream. So people want to complain about it, they can complain about it. I'll die all year round if I got it.
And it's a choice we make.
Yeah, man. You know, I said it, and then I posted a thread that said no matter what your craft is, whether it's, you know, working at a retail store, owning your own business, being a pro bodybuilder, being a tennis player, give it 110%. And the quote I put in on the thread on MD, it was actually a Snoop Dogg quote. And Snoop Dogg said, he goes, if you're a hamburger flipper, be the best motherfucking hamburger flipper there is. And that makes perfect sense. You know, whatever you do, just do it to your best of your ability. And that stands true to everything. So, you know, and that's what I plan to do.
Yeah. Well, I think your work has paid off. You know, not to drag this out too much, but you know, one of the things that which Guy and I always do. But one of the things that we talked about in New York was, you know, I was talking about it with Steve Blackman and I certainly don't want you to take this the wrong way, but when you turned pro, there was a lot of people, including myself, who had doubts. You know, I mean, you won the middleweights on your best conditioning probably in the show that year at Nationals, and I think a lot of people looked at it and said, hey, this is a guy who just won a show on conditioning, but from a structure standpoint and being a middleweight,
176
not really sure this guy's going to be able to make some impact in the IFBB, and obviously here we are a couple weeks after a pro win, second place at one of the biggest shows of the year, and a favorite going into Toronto. So obviously the 24/7 busting your ass thing is it's paid off. So well, we're going to wrap it up. I know if I don't do this now, we're probably going to be on camera for the next
hour,
next half hour. So all right, guys. Well, this is David Baye with Guy Cisternino, new muscular development athlete from the 2014 Toronto Super Show.